everybody for being here. Once again, a big round of applause for all the filmmakers, student filmmakers. So if I can just ask all of you to join me up here, you can all come. There are a lot of you guys, so I guess just my first question, because most of the South African films played today in this program, about 4 of them. How many of you are from the same university? What's the university that you guys go to? If you guys just want to kind of talk about that and then go through the process of your films and what inspired you to make your films.
Good evening. I need to say that I don't speak in English very well, and now my friend helped me. But I think this is important to say that I'm a first trans woman and from Amazon, from Brazil, Amazon, that to do estar and to be estar fazendo, to be doing, to moving in Brazil. Well, the reality is my country. You look about the people trans diet the people trans. In my country, I consider I old woman trans because my sister and my brothers trans don't live in after 35 years. Okay. And for me, it's very, very special. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Camila, to be here. And I'm grateful for you to be in your country. Yeah, the cinema is a space. I think a very, very long time, and the space. Or men's space. Well, it is very, very important for my community. Yes, this movie is don't have pretensions. Was just an exercise and experience in my master in anthropology, because before. Never the trans woman people tiveram oportunidade had opportunity for write nossas histórias, our stories, always European men people to write about us. Yes, it's very, very new in my country. Trans woman and trans men people write about our story. Yeah, the same story. I'm sorry, but it's an exercise for me também, right?
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Luke Johnstone. I co-directed 10th Floor, which was the first film you saw. I'm from Wits University, and the film started as a research question, I think, around generational trauma and the memory of the past that's held in spaces, and those ghosts still, I think, in a lot of ways, stick with us. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Luan Dengobo, and I directed the documentary Catch My Baby. Yes, so thank you very much. So the idea of Catch My Baby actually came from one of my teammates, our producer Tumelo Sokashe. She came up with the idea of actually covering the 2021 riots and the whole commotion around that story. So we actually stumbled upon the story over here that was broadcasted around the country and all over the world about the baby and the mother. So we decided to take action on that. So when we actually contacted the mother, which you have seen all over the news, Naledi Manyoni. She agreed to be part of the documentary at one time, and then she dropped us last minute on shooting day, on my birthday. So all of it at once. So on that day, we decided to switch gears and to use the tools that we had at the moment. So the young woman you saw on screen, Yamkele Lutonga, is part of our university as well. She's a student going to Isiphethu University, which is after Durban. So we had all the tools that we had at our disposal right there. So we had to change gears and change the story and to change our themes. So our documentary initially was going to be about covering her story, the mother who threw the baby off the building. Then we changed gears and decided to make it a story about the untold stories. What about the mothers who weren't covered in the SABC or all of the news? So we changed gears on that. So after that, we shot the documentary. It was pretty hard, as filmmaking, as we all know over here. So yeah, and the basis of the story over here also, just to add another layer, is the picture itself of the baby being thrown off the building. So we like to link that picture to a specific time in history of South Africa. So when you look at the Hector Peterson uprising picture, you think of that specific period of time. Then when you look at this one in 2021, you think about, oh, okay, this picture was taken around the Durban riots. So we put those together and say that we have something powerful over here. So thank you very much. Thank you, Durban. Isiphethu International Film Festival. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Alessandro. I directed Redreaming. This is Jason. He was the cinematographer. We come from University of Cape Town. Thank you. Yeah, I guess my film is quite simple. It's about an AI that it's about an AI that takes on a physical form, it gains consciousness, and it goes out into the world and is confronted by nature and the immensity of nature. And I guess our film sort of explores that tension between technology and nature. And I think something Jason and I kind of discovered while we were making the film, or at least something that I thought about a lot, was sort of general representations of AI as we know it is kind of this thing that we should be scared, well, we are scared of it, and it's threatening, and we think that it's going to sort of destroy us. But I think in Redreaming, the AI is almost, I see it as quite a vulnerable creature and quite weak, and it's shown in sort of immense solitude in these like vast natural landscapes. And yeah, I think that was sort of our end goal, even if we didn't set out at the beginning to sort of achieve that. That's sort of where it ended up, I think. And then the end, yeah. I don't know, Jason, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I think the AI is more human than than AI, and I guess my interest in the project was a lot to do with the violence depicted. The immensity of nature also has to do with encountering what it means to kill. You know, there's the scene of the whale being killed as it happens at the end, and I think I guess my feelings towards the film is that there's something innately human and innately natural about this idea of dominance and killing, and I guess that for me feels like a profound loss and maybe a sadness and overwhelming feeling. Yeah.
So my name is Daniel House. I'm one of the co-directors of Winterslaap or Hibernation. So we come from after Durban, and I think the inspiration behind the film, I think over the past 3 years we've had quite a challenging time, and that just made me think about my own mortality, and that's what I wanted to explore in the film. I was heavily inspired by the films of Andrei Tarkovsky, and just wanted to explore slow cinema and visual poetry as a filmmaker.
Hello everyone, I'm Lee, the other co-director for the film. In terms of just, Daniel started the project before me. I was quite late going into the year. And when Daniel approached me with the story, I saw it was this beautiful exploration of our history in a different perspective. And it grew and developed from there, and it sort of took on a form of how we both see our mortality and how people cope with it differently. So yeah, and then also I just want to add something very quickly. This version you watched today was a work in progress version. The sound was incorrect. I think there was a miscommunication error here. There's a newer version with updated sound where the mix doesn't peak. The dialogue's been cleaned up quite well. So I apologize about that, but I believe it will be shown again at the KZN SA Art Gallery sometime this week.
All right, I'll open up the floor for anybody that has questions. I mean, I can ask some questions, but if you guys want to jump in and ask some questions, feel free to. I think we have a mic that can go around. Okay.
Stand up. Standing up. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, I'm a bit shy. Firstly, congratulations to everybody who's standing up there. It's quite a hard task, I must say. Most of all, I don't know, my question would have been to all of you. Your stories have been very inspirational. And do you feel, now that you're watching it in hindsight, that they've captured what you wanted to send across? And then on the first two stories that were shown, I think they speak a lot about the South African context and what's happening in South Africa. And I sort of love the bridge between how we've seen the power of film being able to assist journalism in getting the message across. So do you feel that government and journalism and the NPO are also playing a major role into making sure that film progresses? Because right now we've had 5 different, was it 5 different or is it 6 different ones? But in all of them, they speak about different things, and we are acknowledging that there is a change in how we look at film. I think the last guy spoke about how they wanted to explore poetry and slow film, which is something that's different. So for some of us who are still, I'm a dropout from video technology, so some of these things are still new, and I'm an unpracticing journalist. So I'm really basically just want to say well done to everybody. It's a work in progress. And as you said, maybe when we see that KZN SA, it will be different. The sound will be different. We couldn't pick it up. Well, I couldn't. I'm not a professional. But thumbs up to all of you. And just those 2 questions. How can we link up as journalists and media to make sure that the stories are told, and the NGO as well? And how far do we need to push government to come to the party and say, these are the stories that are there, which are every day. There are women who are not documented, who've had issues. There are people who have passed away, just like how they were speaking about God and how, why are you praying when you're being met with silence? So how do we go about making sure that all those people have voices and great stories to tell? our context, and also we can't tell every story, but how can we cherry pick the ones that can change the trajectory of the country and give us hope? Thank you very much, everybody.
Do you want them to address what you just mentioned, or is it just more of a commentary? You just wanted to make a comment. You wanted to comment. Okay.
Now I can, my sister, Ceci, I speak em português. Bom, eu acho que eu falo de um lugar.
She's saying that she speaks from a place
Que é de um país colonizado e que muitas de nós somos frutos de estupros.
It's a colonized country, Brazil, and most of us, like the miscegenate ones, are the fruit of a rape that happened, like historically.
Mi, Ceci, Camila,
Yeah.
somos parte disso.
Her, myself, and the other curator, Camila, we are part of this.
As pessoas trans no meu país começaram a escrever as suas histórias a partir de 2012.
The trans people in our country, they just began to write their own histories, their own stories in 2012. Only 2012.
E eu penso que essa retomada ou essa insurreição que está acontecendo no Brasil agora, sobretudo com pessoas indígenas, negras e pessoas trans.
And I think that this taking over power, that trans people and this insurrection that trans people and black people and people in the margin of the society is
aproximam, eu tenho pensado, a realidade da África do Sul.
Your reality as a South African closer to our reality also.
Embora, só para finalizar, pode ir.
Only to wrap it up.
Eu penso que, diferente de vocês, pessoas negras, africanas, que nasceram e viveram aqui,
I think that unlikely you black people that was born and raised here in Africa, in South Africa.
no Brasil, a gente enfrenta um problema que eu considero uma espécie de esquizofrenia.
In Brazil, we face a problem that she considers like a kind of a schizophrenia.
Porque as nossas ancestralidades foram todas estilhaçadas.
Because our ancestralities are all shattered.
Então a gente está nessa busca de tentar, a partir dos caquinhos, reconstituir as nossas ancestralidades negras, indígenas, e isso se aproxima muito à história travesti.
And we are this search to wrap up all the little pieces, to put the little pieces together to try to put the ancestry, I don't know how to say it, in perspective. And this has a lot to do with the trans identity also.
E essa hora, agora, e a gente continua viva, pessoas trans no Brasil continuam vivas porque nós existimos dentro de comunidades negras, indígenas e marginalizadas. Então é isso.
And trans people in Brazil, they're still alive because they get together with the black people and the people in the margin, the indigenous and people in the margin. And I'm just pointing out something. Eu só vou te falar mais uma coisa que você falou antes. And I wish I could point out something that she said before. And that is in her movie. Brazil is the country that in the world that kills the most of trans people. Is the and what she was saying before that she is old and old trans person because she could get to be more than 35 is very serious, it's very grave in Brazil.
E só agora, e esse festival oportuniza as pessoas que estão na margem falar sobre si. E eu sou essa pessoa da margem também.
And she's very grateful because this festival gives the opportunity to margin people to speak up for themselves, and she's very grateful to be here.
Thank you so much.
Stand up. You okay? I'm asked to stand up. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Portia. I'm a film curator, a festival director. This is really good. I think the future is bright. If these are the student films, God, amazing. Imagine the people with experience, what are they going to come up with? I have dotted a few notes so that I won't be babbling. So, firstly, well done, guys. Well done. I will go to the curator of these films. I want to say kudos. Those were amazing. There were themes of family, themes of loss, themes of environmental imbalances, of trauma, of reconnection, as well as a venture. I was taken to a venture, okay? I was in a venture only, the last film. So the questions to the first film, I'm not sure it was the first, but I'm just going to comment. I saw a still picture, the baby falling. That was very amazing. I'm not sure if the videographer is here or the director directed that shot. It was amazing of that still picture that was just the baby that was falling. I fell in love with the picture, as well as the film took me to emotional roller coaster ride. I cried, literally. It was amazing. I didn't believe that. I don't believe you when you say that the woman that was talking there is not the mother. That was amazing. And secondly, with the, please correct me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, winter slap, is it? I just wanted to find out what was the reason behind the black and white? Was there a reason for you to do that? And then, I don't know the name of the film, but it was about a man that lost her child, the daughter. There was cancer in between the okay. Silence of the Bananas. Yes. Okay. With that film, I saw a lot of directions, whereas cinematography, I'm going to put it, not sure if it's called that, where you were showing us there was rain and there was a letting go of a bed, and then the man was lying down in what seemed to be a field of malice. And I'm not sure what you were trying to convey when you were showing us those scenes, but for me, how I interpreted it felt like some emotional turmoil. I'm not sure if you can correct me what you wanted us to go through. And then lastly, I was taken into a venture because I've never been in Brazil, right? Brazil. But I really enjoyed the movie. And thank you so much for representing us. And I really empathize with you, what you're going through. Or queer community, we all fighting the same fight, but as a South African, I would have such love with us. One community stories. Keep telling your stories and don't give up. I hope one day something will be of a brighter color. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll have the filmmakers answer the questions. You guys want to take the first question?
to address your part of the question to Vintaslav, basically we just wanted to film it in black and white to really have it look like a portrait of that era. So we use quite a lot of wide-angle lenses as well to give it that sort of quite a sort of feeling to the film. And then we also wanted it to really emphasize the bleakness and sort of hopelessness in that world. And then also another reason was we filmed the film in the rainy season in the Underberg. So the colors, instead of it being green and lush, to look quite bleak and desolate.
And just to be quick, it also pays homage to filmmakers like Andrei Tarkovsky and Bela Tar, who is really influenced by Soviet cinema, and we really wanted to pay homage to that movement.
Your main question was for the hibernation team, right? Okay. So I think we don't have that much time left. Do you want to take her? I think she raised a hand.
Sure. I'll be short, the consent of time. So I just wanted to ask 2 questions to the director of the documentary of a baby. So I'm not sure if you are aware that maybe you're breaking the rules of documentary by replacing a subject with an actress. I don't know if that is allowed in fiction, all of this, but I don't know, maybe that's a new way of thinking about film. I don't know. And then the second one, with your film, Shan, are you trying to also return the gaze to Europe somehow? Because it feels like it's an observation of Europe. You're doing the same gaze that they've been doing over time.
Okay, so the lady or the young woman Chichisodo was actually talking. As I said before, she's a student at AFTA as well, and she studies live performance. So it's a coincidence actually. She lives in the same building that she's a neighbor of Lady Manyoni, the lady that was all over the news. Yes, the mother who threw the baby in the news to save her. So it's all a coincidence actually. They're neighbors. They live in the same building, which is called City Life here in Durban. So she is an actor. Maybe her acting came out, she was overwhelmed, but she's actually a participant or a victim, let me say a victim, of the thing that happened actually. Yeah. It's not fiction, it's actually.
Na verdade, esse exercício
In fact, it was an exercise.
É uma contraposição quase contracultural.
Kind of a contraposition, contracultural.
Porque na antropologia foram sempre os homens brancos europeus que escreveram sobre a gente.
Because in anthropology was all the time was the white male people that was writing about the other populations.
E desculpa, mas eu acho que agora pessoas que estão à margem precisam interpretar e observar e escrever sobre a violência que as pessoas brancas causam.
And she says that she's sorry, but the other populations should now try to press crusade the violence that was inflicted to them by those white male people that was writing about them, that was like studying them, desiccating them.
Okay, I have 2 questions for the Redreaming team and for Luke. My first question to you guys is that in terms of your film and exploring AI, which is such a topical subject, how did you guys sort of arrive at the physical form of the AI in terms of the mirror on the head? Cinema is clearly sort of a filtered version of society. Was it your way of sort of putting a mirror to society? Is that what you guys were trying to say with that? Just elaborate. And for Luke, I see a lot of you guys have actually co-directed with other directors, and with your film, you directed with 2 other filmmakers. Talk about that process in terms of just making a film with 2 other filmmakers, which can't be really easy in terms of exchanging ideas and all of that. So I'll just hand the mic over to you guys first.
Sure. Yeah, so when I wanted to make the film, I really had this idea in my mind that I wanted to use reflection and specifically mirrors, and I knew that I wanted to explore AI in some way, but we had no idea that it was going to look like that in the final product. It's like sort of alongside that, there was, as Jason said, this idea of representing AI in a way that felt human, and as I said, in a way that felt almost weak. So we knew that we wanted to use an actual person, a body, and yeah, then the mirror box kind of just happened. It was very DIY, and I think, thank you. Yeah, it kind of just, it was something that we all kind of spoke about, and to answer your question about sort of reflecting society back, that wasn't actually the intention. It was more to kind of show that this AI was trying to almost imitate nature or replicate what was around it, in the same way that it was learning from the human being at the beginning, and it was sort of copying it and saying the same words. The reflections were kind of an extension of that idea. But I like that you read it that way. I think it's an interesting take, so thank you.
Yeah, so I think with film, it often feels like there's sort of a very strict hierarchy, producer, director. So I think we like the idea of co-directing because it almost democratizes the process. You have to make compromises. And I think it's an interesting approach, especially for students. Yeah, trying different approaches to the process of filmmaking. Yeah.
I think we have time for one more question. I think she raised her hand. Sorry. Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Nomvuzo Ngobo and I am doing my final year at DUT, currently studying video technology. Just a few simple questions for everyone. What type of editing apps do you use? Because in our institutions we are familiar with Adobe Premiere Pro. And to the AI guys, just a personal question, I just want your opinion. Do you see AI taking over people's jobs, especially like in our industry? Because as we all know, we have AI currently editing videos for us, making it easier, the sequence, the everything. So I just wanted to know from your personal view, do you see AI taking over our jobs? Yeah. Oh, I love the color grading for your. Yes, I love it so much. Oh, I recently shot my. Who's the editor? Oh, oh, I love it. I love it so much. I recently shot my short drama. It's called I See Red. It's not out there as yet, but hopefully in the next festival it will be out there. My inspiration was Sin City because it's in black and white with the elements of red. So yeah, but we'll talk on later on. Yeah, that's all. Congratulations, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what Jason thinks, but I definitely don't think that AI doesn't threaten any of our jobs, especially as filmmakers, because real cinema is so human, and it's in all of those vulnerabilities and in all of those mistakes and in the learning process that, that AI doesn't have any of that. So I think, like in our film, it's an imitation, but it's never truly the same thing. Yeah, and good luck with your film.
I think it will take our jobs. I feel like someone said to me the other day that maybe there'll be like artisanal films, like there's artisanal bread, like this film was made by a human being. And I think, yeah, it'll probably streamline the process in a way that like takes away the editor's job or the visual effects artist's job. I think it'll be easier to make like something visual, to just make content. And maybe that'll help us realize, like what Alessandro was saying, what's intrinsically creative, what our non-AI capacities are, I hope. But yeah, it could just make a stream of cack on Netflix. So
we edited on Adobe Premiere Pro. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I think everyone edited on Adobe.
Okay, guys, I think we've run out of time. Thank you for all those thoughtful questions, and thank you guys for being here, and congratulations on the films. I also just wanted to mention that we have a bunch more student films that are programmed over the next week, so please come and check out those films. They're just as great. So thank you again, and take care. Have a good evening.
Hello, everyone. If you can just join us.